1, 2, 3, go. And I keeping it real. Oh, Matt TV. No matter what difference, no matter what you see, no matter what you hear, just hear this. We're talking about life in general, right? How life can be. You never know what you get. You can be the best person you can, and you can be the worst person you can. Do you know something weird? I get up this morning after I went to go to sleep late. I went to sleep about 3 or 4 o'clock, trying to work on some of the stuff for the Matt TV logo and the websites and all that stuff, and then to make some products with other friends. And I keep thinking about Kobe. I'm dreaming about Kobe. I'm dreaming about LeBron. I'm dreaming about Michael Jordan. I'm talking to them. I'm asking, hey, so how is this and what is it? How is this stuff and everything? And I'm like, and I got up saying, I gotta see this. I gotta see something. Is there any update on Kobe Bryant? I'm not using Kobe as a way to say, oh look, you answer his name and you get likes and people say it's Kobe. I'm just saying I want to talk about life, because I personally believe that Kobe's life is so significant, because it's so, for me personally, it's so close to mine that I'm like, wow. Because it's so hard to lose anybody. What about the people on the plane too? I mean, well, planes do go down, and helicopter. What about the other people in the helicopter? What about the pilot? We watched some of the updates to this thing, and maybe it was because of this, maybe it was fatigue, maybe it was because of, I didn't hear them talking about the toxicology. Was it about, let me talk slower, right? Was it about the pilot being disoriented maybe after so many years of experience? Was it about, they said the helicopter was fine, there's no mechanical issues, there's no defect, there's no issues there. Okay, pull it back. Kobe is us. Kobe is you and me. So is Gianna, so are the other people on the plane, so are the friends and the other people and the coach and the assistant coach. Put them all there. Put yourself in their place. Ask yourself this question, because I'm going to tie it also to this garden. I want you guys to see something. In this life, and what I understand in my limited lifespan here, right? What I understand that God permits things to happen to all of us, good and bad. Look at Job, look at Joseph, look at Daniel, look at Moses, every one of us. The stories in the Bible are there for us, for our examples, our admonition, to learn to see how to juggle the things of life, knowing that we cannot do it all on our own. God is the one that makes it all happen. God's the one that keeps it all in balance and keeps it all functioning. Look at the clouds. Today's, was it cumulus, stratus? How do you do it? You know the different names for it. Some here, some over there, some over there, some over there. All stuff is happening around us, and we cannot control it. I cannot think, make myself turn white or pink or yellow or blue or red, whatever. And I'm actually brown. I cannot make this thing by thinking about it. You turn blue. Why not? Is it silly to really think about it? But here's something. We are what we eat, right? Just the same thing, our thoughts make us who we are. And if God says, just look at this, to be, therefore you are, you see philosophical thing, other things saying that you are what you are. Okay, I think, therefore I am. Okay, put how you want to. In other words, as a person thinks in his or her own heart, so he or she shall be. If you think you're a winner, by the grace of God, you're a winner. If you think you're a loser, by the grace of God, you're not that's how they say it, you're not a loser. Sorry, that's wrong. But the other part, if you think you can't do anything more and you start acting that way, you will not do anything more. You will just sit there while away and die eventually and get lost. But if you say, hey, there's purpose to everything I do, everything I put my hands to do, I'll do the best I can, as God asked me to do, you will go higher. Because after this life, there's more. We don't just live based upon the moment and say, this is it. No, there's more. But I want to show you something else I want to point you to. And I want to bring it back, even with Kobe and everything. With Kobe, it hurts a lot because why? Kobe's close to my age. And I look at this, I said, African American, male, a father, has daughters, wonderful wife, what a career. He has skills and accolades. He has such skills and such talents, on court, off court. And I'm like, look what he did with his time and his money and invested it and how he tried to help other people. Question is, what are we going to do with our time, money, talents, and investments? What are we going to do? What do we do to help everybody else, our own family and ourselves? Did he take the time to enjoy all this stuff? He had youth, he had vitality and strength, he had stamina, he had a lot of love. He loved his kids. I'm seeing that they said he wants me to pick up his kids all the time. And I don't know every detail about him. You guys may know more. I watch him for the game, and I like it from what I saw in the game, and I'm like, I like the way he plays. At the same time, I'm like, wow. I saw the things he was doing too, all the things too. I see them when they celebrate after the games, all the stuff, and the signals. I'm like, are those significant? I would not be surprised. Not saying that it negates everything else. I'm saying, hopefully, those things negate what has happened. Because let me tell you something, with our lives, Kobe and anybody else, I always mention Michael Jackson, other people too, and Bernie, everybody else. People don't know those are names. But what about Taylor Swift? What about Ariana? I call her like a Rio Grande. I call her Ariana. Okay, Ariana Grande. Not knocking a name, I'm just having fun here at the same time. But I'm being very serious. How long will they be around for? What will you do? What will they do if it only lasts for so long and that their lifespan is cut short? I'm not saying it should happen. I wish it never happened to anybody. None of us should die. But we are dying every day. By stuff in the air, by stuff in land, by stuff in there. Despite all our experience, all our money, our time, our talent, everything we do, we can still die young or old. Why some die so young, why some die so old? We thinking we can be around forever? Who do you know is around forever right now? Show me. Did the money save them? So here, we should go back to Kobe. Talents, skill, money, investments, age, vitality, father, relationship. Yes, all the stuff there. African American too. I'm like, wow. Are we all aspiring to be someone where you can succeed and make money, make things, and then we don't have to suffer anymore? So we can actually have an income and have a revenue stream so we don't have to suffer anymore? All these people on the TV saying, if you do this, you make money. If you do this career, you make money. If you do this, you make money. Like college, and college's price are not going down still, right? Still high, like high to the roof. I ain't see everybody rich walking around right now, but they all going to college, right? I say, get a trade from the time you go into high school. Trade, get a trade market, trade school, do it, get a talent, HVAC, plumbing, whatever. Just do something now. And then college is something that's, it may be necessary, but it's not a have to be. You can have enough talents and skill to learn a trade, to start earning money and making an income and stuff like that now, without having to be finishing college and end up with a mountain of debt that's sadly for the rest of your life to pay off. You know how it is hard to pay off some debt? Interest rates are not going lower, it's higher. Tuition is going higher. What is going down? Our lifespan maybe? Or longevity? No, it shows that we can live in longer. Who's giving those stats? FDA, CDC, NIH? Seriously. But go back to Kobe. You have so much to offer. And in an hour when we think not, a tragic event like that happens. On a regular routine drive or flight or hike or walk or jog. You know what I'm talking about? I don't just limit it to that thing. Expand it. Who else? Us. Walk with a dog. What happened to Molly Tibbetts back in the days? What happened to Blake and Lively? What happened to Blake? What happened to the nurse? What happened what's going on with people in Chicago and New York? What's going on in New York right now with all the soldiers and all these police officers down the subway? What's going on with all these different gangs and stuff? What happened with all this stuff happening? You can be driving, you can be flying, anyhow. Anything you do, it could happen. And I'm like, there's so many ways. I used to remember this song back in the days, reggae song. 6 million ways to die. Choose one. I don't want to choose any. I want 6 million ways to live. Like God. I want to live forever. I want you to live forever too. But we can die from anything in this world. Our life, once his heart stops or the brain is gone, we can die of anything. Disease, ailment, thing. Even water intoxication can kill us. So what's going on with the water? What's going on with the food? What's going on with everything? Bring it back to Kobe again. He's at a point whereby he has everything. But we notice something. We all are reliant upon each other in one way or the other. We need each other. He can fly if you maybe have the skill and can learn to do the stuff. If you can learn that, the aeronautics and learn to do a helicopter, if he was given the opportunity. But he had a pilot who was very well trained and very seasoned. He knows what he was doing from what I see there and what I hear from the reports. I can only go by what I heard. Same thing goes with God's word. Only what I heard and hear and see and experience myself, right? He was one of Kobe's favorite pilot. So are people going to criticize? It's his fault. No. It's Kobe's fault. No. Was it the weather? But the weather's there. We have no control over that, right? Oh, can we control the weather? It's another topic, right? Other stuff. So go back to Kobe. You have everything you have there. Money, wealth, family, everything you have there. All the stuff there. How is it tied to this? I'm telling you, I'm tied to this. I'm going to let you see what you're talking about. Right? All this stuff. You know what I mean? Like gardening is like life. Like driving is like life too. So is playing ball is like life. We all want to succeed. We all want to make it. We have challenges and difficulties. We're going to be split sometimes. We're going to be hurt sometimes. We're going to be schism sometimes. We're going to be suffering sometimes. We're going to get blessed on the good things sometimes. We're going to get nice things sometimes. New child born, new crops yielded, this thing here, look at these things. We get good things sometimes, and yet we lose a lot sometimes. How does it go? What's supposed to do? This is not going to be all in one conversation. We're just saying, take it as it comes at you. Make the best of what happens out of it. Because from that tragedy, they might have to implement new ways of safety for the helicopters and new different technology you can put into it, like from the cars of safety. Look at the cars that have been made and manipulated over the years and different things to do, clothes and everything. Everything has been changed over the years to make it a little better. Hopefully, no guarantee. How's it tied to it? Back to Kobe. I would say the prime of his life, when everything is there, Is it why we say prime? Because it goes to what? God's what? 3 score and 10? 20, 20, 20, 20, and 10? 70 something years. So we hope to live that. But people live longer. So 80 something, some 90 something, some younger, some shorter, some 40. I'm like, how long will he live? I don't know, but I wish he lived forever. I hope to see him in heaven by the grace of God too. You know? And Gianna and the other people on the plane too. But I use him because that's the way people recognize the name. Name Kobe, it has name recognition here, right? And Brianna and your family and the daughters, I'm so sorry for what you guys have gone through. And to see what happened to Howard, see right later on, they took the pictures of him and they were passing it around by the first responders and other people. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But isn't that what I see them doing also in some of the wars I see happening, like in wars like in Ukraine and Russia, where they're dragging the bodies of the soldiers on the back of the truck. I watched them carry bodies from the back of a truck in video format and just drop the bodies. Young men, I can keep my balance. Young men and young women were once alive, now they die with their eyes open. And their brains are hanging out and busted out and they're sitting on the side there and they're just dying. And this is the war. Has anybody been charged with that war crime? You shoot somebody's brain out on the street, you should be charged, right? What happened in the war though? Conflict. Oh, it's just under the fog of war, anything can happen? So people get murdered, raped, killed, stabbed, beaten to death and all that stuff, and this is good? What about happening in Israel and Hamas and all that stuff? What's going on over there in Pakistan? What's going on in all these places? All these wars have been through. World War I and II. Millions, 20 million, 20 million, 20 million, 20 million. Over the World War II. What about World War I? And then the Civil War. What about the war before that? French Revolution. What about the other wars? Always a war and a conflict. When are these wars going to stop? We talk about Kobe. What about the people set up in the wars and were drafted in their young prime of life too? Not negating the Kobe zone. That's important as well, because this is using a war to be a man, war to be a citizen, war to be alive and to function. And despite all the things pulling at you, he's winning a war. Despite all the stuff he's been in, all the court battles too, he's in a war. All of us in a war. You too, me too, we're in a war. Look at our history, look at our past. Tie it all together. What are we missing? What is the story? What's missing from all of this stuff? So are we going to give up? Should we continue? How am I tied to this tree? From his disaster, and not because of him being a disaster, but from that tragedy of that disaster, from that disaster and tragedy, what comes from that will make a big difference. Was it supposed to be that's how long you're supposed to live for? I don't know. I hope not. I want everyone. God made everyone to live forever. There's no one supposed to die. Because of sin in the world, people die. Okay? But he was supposed to live forever. So was his family. Everybody's on the plane too, and helicopter too. I keep saying plane. That means like aeronautics, vehicles, airborne. You know? But I'm saying it's like none of us are supposed to die either. Young babies, new babies, thing. We're tragic when we're angry about somebody getting harmed and somebody dying, somebody getting hit by a car, something bad happening like that. So what about those babies aborted? Are we feeling that much of remorse and animosity for those things too? I'm not accusing you. I'm just saying other people in the world. We see things and we say, oh, that's tragic. Oh, that's bad. Oh, we feel our remorse. Our heart goes out. Hearts and prayers. What about those died in the war? And conflicts and crashes, everything else. Or is it, oh, that's them. That's not me. My life here. I see here something. I see people going to some of the pools and the beaches we go to, and he says, you go to the water, he says, be careful. Alligators and snakes and stuff will be present in these areas. And I'm like, I call them gator bros. I'm like, if I see gator bros present somewhere, I ain't in that water. I ain't in that water. Sharks and stuff, I ain't in that water. I'm on the sand. I'm on the shore. I'm watching. Right? But other people are swimming, choosing to swim in the water, knowing that the signs are there. Many people are choosing to see the signs and warning signs of life and choose to go there and still parlay on the wrong side, despite being given the warning. Me too, sometimes. Drive at a certain speed, drive at a certain rate, don't drink, don't intoxicate, anything, you name it. We're not all perfect. We mess up. Right? At the same time, we have to learn from these mistakes. But we should not have to repeat the same mistakes and errors of others to learn it. Drink responsibly. Never drink. Never smoke. I didn't hear anything on a toxicology report, but I'm thinking again, using everything else as I said, might have been a misjudgment from disorientation from what happened to him on the plane and the thing crashed. But we're saying we're all looking to be the best basketball player, the best football player. I'm all over the place, right? Because it all ties together. It's hard to put this into a concise thing. I ain't getting one on a script. I'm just talking from straight to you, right? Into myself. We hope to get to the point where we don't have to suffer anymore. We can have a good life. No more wars, no more conflict, no more disasters, no more stuff. And then let us ride the time out in peace, comfort. What could have been in their minds as they were sitting in the helicopter, while the pilot is there, from what it sounds like, trying his best to make it happen, to land them there safely. I don't think he went out with the intention to go out there and crash the helicopter. But there are some people who says, despite the safety, despite the warnings, I will take the risk and potentially knowing that I can potentially lose my life. You go, the guy said, if you go skydiving, you have to sign a waiver. I know I can potentially, parachute could not open, I can potentially die. When you go on a plane, helicopter, you know you don't tell. I think there's a fine print that says we could potentially lose our lives and all these things. Get in the car, you could potentially lose your life. Are we gonna? It's just a sad thing of reality of that it's like every event can result in a loss and a fatality. What are you gonna do about it? You know, we can try to make them better and safer and nicer and good and better, and I think they should do more, especially for the airlines. Make them so they don't crash anymore. Helicopters, they don't crash anymore. It's just too horrible when these things go down. And they say, well, compared to this, compared to what? Compared to anything else, you can see things happen. Compared to sitting in this chair and a plane fall in the sky and bust me in the head and kill me still while I'm on the ground, sitting in my own house in peace and quietness. It can happen anyhow you want. What happened to the COVID stuff? What happened during that time too? Come on. What, back then too? Bubonic plague back then. Anything can happen. Life can be taken at any moment in time. So while we are alive, let us live for the grace of God and let us live to do good. Live to help other people. Live to make it happen. How am I pointing to this tree? Let me show you why. So Kobe, this story's not done. We're saying we don't know more. We still getting more information. But I'm saying it was a tragedy to see him and everybody else cut down in their life while still living. They were not destined to be that way. But some people say it is, and they blame God. No, not an act of God, act of the devil. The devil brought in sin and destruction and death. Not God. God brought in life and life forevermore. So give God the praise for saving him and saving other people. All up to that point. Is it because God couldn't finish it and manage it? No. It's his prerogative of what he permits to happen. And I'm like, Lord, I know God does the best for help all of us, the best what we need. But when will it be? When will he permit us to say, okay, that's it? I don't know. We're in the land of the living. God said, I'm the God of the living, not of the dead. So what will be the next step for me and for you? How long we shall live? And if we do live another day, even seeing this video and another thing, what are we going to do after that? You know? How are we going to live our life going forward from now? Here or just here, or if you didn't listen to it. Or even if you did listen to it. What do you do right now? How are we going to live our lives? Complaining how bad and how hard it is and then say, can I give up? Knowing that you have to struggle every day just to get your breath. And you have to till this garden. Like gardening, everything, you finish it, cleaning it, look around you. It has to be cleaned up. You have weed here, something's here, you have to pluck it here, you have to cut here, you have to cut down here, you have to pump the pool, you have to do all this stuff. There's a lot of stuff you got to do with this place still. Got to fight the bugs. But remember I said, the bugs eating your food might be a good sign. I mean that they like your food. That means it's actually good for you to eat too in the end when you get the food because, no pesticides here. But it's a constant battle of everything. Like life, like your life. You're trying to have a nice, simple garden of your life. And things are coming into your garden that you need to pluck out weeds, thorns and stuff, vines, and then you still have to go and make it work to make it edible and food. But how are this ties to this? I'm saying, like life, cut short. Look at this thing. If you can zoom in on this, look at this. Zoom back, right? Look at this thing here. These are the trees. You remember these? Remember the older videos? Little trees, little tiny trees, little tiny peas trees, right? Peas, I think it was. Little trees. They were all small. Now they were like this big in the beginning. Look at them now. They're all so big all around there. Trees are here, over there. They were babies, and they grew up. Look at this one here. I heard one that had, what was that, a crack? And I look and I'm like, what happened here? Come and take a look at this thing a second. This tree here, if you see this angle, this peach tree split into 3 pieces. He went 1 piece here, 1 piece there, and 1 piece there. And I'm like, how was this thing even able to look at if you see below? Can you look at the camera below here? Can it even sustain a look below there? Let me see if I can get this camera. Let me see this. Look at this. How is it even possible? You see the angle, right? Look at it there. How is it even possible? Remember stuff about cellulose and other things in plants and stuff. How is it even possible that this simple peach tree, in its prime, while yielding good fruits and prime, all this stuff here, good to go, fell down and split and got crushed in the middle here and on the side here. And I'm like, but here's a question. Is the tree still alive? Is it? Let's take a look. From that resultant crack, what has continued? 2 branches. Wait, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Is this tree Are you and I, even after the calamity and disaster we've been through in our lives, and all the stuff we see struggling, all the disease, everything around us, the birds attacking us, bees, things, everything, you name it. Is this tree, are you and I, are we still able to yield fruit for the master's hands? Let's see this tree. Maybe this is why I had to have that talk to him. Maybe this is why, I don't know. God works in mysterious ways. But so this tree now is able to continue to make, that one is this one, make more limbs and more limb branches. And here is still peas budding. And peas budding. And Regina picked some peas and made some soup out of these peas here. This tree was split many things with everything going wrong for it there. The other one is still standing firm, but this one is cracked, like it's dying. I thought it was done. I said, okay, it's done. I was breaking the branches all, like, move out of the way, it's dying. And this tree, each split branch is still yielding more, it's still healthy and green. How in the world can a tree that's split? You mean from, what about clogged arteries and all that angina? What about pain and stuff? What about clogged arteries and stuff? Do we have collateral circulation? Look at this tree, look at the side here. Some little bit of meat hanging onto it still. That's the human spirit. This tree can still yield. Multiple more. It's on the ground. It looks like it's done. Like it's finished. It can be stepped on and tossed away. This tree said, no way, I ain't done yet. I ain't finished yet. I got things to do with my life still. No way I ain't done. I'm split the pieces here, but you know what it is? I'm gonna yield. I'm gonna keep yielding until my time is up. So he's yielding and this is fully gone. He's still coming up. So what do we complain about how tough our life is, how messed up it is? We've been split and cracked so many pieces in so many areas. We're pulled every different direction. Yes, it's heavy. This is a hard burden. And we feel the pain every day. Trust me, I'm feeling it too. But if anything else, inspiration, when I said a garden like life, take hope. I didn't make this tree. I may have added to help water and all that stuff, but God gave me what I need, resource I need to make what I need to give it to the plant. This tree was a gift from God to us. That's just how you and I am to this earth and this world. You make a difference. I make a difference. Everybody in the world make a difference. Red, yellow, black, and white. Whether from Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Hamas, everywhere you are in the world. As long as they ain't trying to harm and kill each other, you make a difference. You living for life, you make a difference. In this split world where we have a division and strife and stuff going on right now in this world, you can still yield something good. You have today, make it matter then. Today is the day. Tomorrow, you can split more and maybe finally say, okay, guys, God says enough. He permits it to happen and finally, okay, enough. But until that time comes, yield and keep yielding and yield and need more. Make more good happen. He ain't done yet. He went down here, even to here and to spread down on the floor here, and he's still going more. Man, that tree's good. I'm still here. So what is all this talking about? Kobe and everybody, everything else though? I heard one of his daughters graduating, and the other doing good stuff, and the other people doing good still. We're watching videos still, and all of us still looking at his life. I'm looking at his life as a reference saying, wow, if that could happen to him with everything he had going for him, the money in the world couldn't save him at that time, or any of them. All the achievements they made, all the stuff they made, even the best equipment, the helicopter said it's fine, working order. They did a RQA, root cause analysis, RCA. They said everything was working order. It's just, they said it was a human error, human misjudgment, human disorientation, human things. Maybe not, who knows? Like this thing here. Who knows how the tree broke? Was it the wind? Was it the weight of it? Was it a wet log thing? Who knows a tree branches fall on people's heads sometimes? Who knows? You know? But I'm saying, as bad as the life is, as bad as the tragedy is life is and can be sometimes, we have to just stop. We'll say, that's it. We're over. We're not done yet. This tree's not done, neither are you, and neither am I. So even when we take some split ends, we get some split ends and some split ends in the mind and split ends and pain and heart attack and all stuff happening, we're not done. So I'm saying, please be inspired. Grow a garden if you can. Be inspired by watching what God has put in nature for us to see. Be inspired. Do not yield and say this is it. Do not yield to the devil and wickedness, temptations, and evil to hurt and harm each other. Don't give up when you find they split you in left in pieces and you all yanking it out. I'm trying to break it, thinking I was doing a good thing. I was trying to break it to get past to go to the door. I'm like, but then something says leave it. Don't root it off yet. And I'm like, all right, let's see. Eventually it'll dry off and rot off. He showed me. It broke. It looked like it dried up rotten over there. It's dry enough, but it's still yielding good fruit. Wow. I misjudged the plant. I misjudged the peach tree. You mean I thought the peach tree was down and out? It actually had life in it still. So when I saw the guy, the gal in the corner, the alcoholic or the drinking, the smoking, or the person on TV doing all kind of scandals and misbehaving, all kind of stuff there with themselves and doing signs and all that stuff. You mean there's hope for them? I mean, when I see my fellow brothers look at their about to go under, there's hope for them? Thief in the cross. We are. You have to be a little thief. God makes a difference. And if God can make this tree do this, He can make us do something else too. So, to Him be all honor, power, and glory. Let it be as He willed. God bless you guys. We'll catch up. Nice.